going to, because we put on there on the, I think we put, I can't remember what you put. You wrote, this is going to be about the union stuff. Is this what we were talking about tonight?
Yeah. We're going to talk about union.
And I also want to talk about tomorrow, September 23rd, and everything that people are discussing that they have to stop getting in a panic about. But I wanted to read my post on True Union, and it's only a very small paragraph to start out today because I feel like so many people looked at it and skimmed it and didn't really get it, because sometimes when I do write things, I'm like, wait, maybe it's not able to be grasped sometimes. So I thought I can read it and then we can discuss it. So
that's fine.
What I wrote was, when we understand that we are consciousness from the divinity of the One, we unify in grace with our Creator God, Source, living through thy sacred heart in the divine consciousness of the eternal love that we all are. This is union. When one surrenders and removes themselves completely from the small ego self, becoming one with Source, living from thy sacred heart in complete trust. Union is not with another physical entity, it is union of thyself in oneness with the Creator after false ego is removed. In our light, in our grace, and in our divinity, we are one in the eternal love of all that is. So, that all came through. That was September 1st I posted that. Right. And I know I put it in, I shared it in a lot of rooms, but it's sometimes some of the things that come through me when I connect to Source like that are so far above sometimes others' heads that it's not understandable. So maybe we can break this down for people to understand. So, because I feel like everybody thinks that union is only a physicality. And I don't see it that way. That's not how I've ever seen it. I've seen it as going back to union with God, because a lot of people have broken off that connection. And this is where I'm going to get into September 23rd as well. Because humans, when they came to or as they've evolved on the planet, and they made the choices of disconnecting from their own God self and from Christ and all that stuff, they lost their union with Source or Creator or God, whichever you want to call it, and they actually separated themselves, and that's how they are having that, when you come down here on the earth, having that experience of separation, but it really isn't a separation until you really figure it all out. And I feel like with the choices people have made of going towards the materialism and the greed because of the mind control, the way that everything has been paved by the darker energy, that people just disconnected completely with who they are, and they've disconnected with themselves, and they've disconnected with the fact that they are a piece of the Creator, a piece of Source or God. And this union has to happen. You have to go through this ascension process where you're absorbing more light through the body and into your cells, and every single cell's absorbing more light to go through the process and ascension and to go into your light body. But as we go through this, you get to a point where you connect with your Christ self. Again, that's part of the journey. There's a lot in between there. I'm just skipping the stuff over, but I'm just wanting to say is that after that, I feel like when you connect back with your own Christ self and back through your sacred heart, opening the heart and connecting back with your inner light, which I call the inner light, the Christ self, on the journey, that's like a halfway point, and you're on your way then to connecting back with your own God self, the piece of you that you are from the Creator. So through this journey, you've got to get through this process. You've got to go through this process. And that goal is to get back to that connection of divinity of whom you are, because we are all a piece of Source. And when you get back to that, and you've connected yourself back to that, and you've gone through the soul merges and all of these merges that you do to get to that piece of merging back with Source, that's when you've found union. That's when you're back in union. You're back in union with whom you truly are. And after that is when you can, I feel, truly be living from your heart, the sacred heart, and moving on to any kind of sacred relationship, partnership, any kind of having a lover or whatever, and have a physical union, if you wish to call it that, or just a physical relationship. So,
yep,
that's kind of what that paragraph said.
Well, and you want to know what? It's interesting, because if you take that and then you take the work that I just did, the piece that I just did goes hand in hand with that, in that I just wrote the article about the purpose of the Sacred Heart Twin Flame Path. And basically, as we're embarking on this path, what this path is the motivation, oftentimes, to get us kick-started to go through that process, with the carrot at the end of the stick that gets us to go to the union process within ourselves with Source, and then to be able to have a sacred partnership with another. And during this, what we're doing is we're actually taking the old templated relationships to a new, non-structured, high-vibrational structure, a high-vibrational sacred union. And that process is kind of like, it's all, for those of us that are on the Sacred Heart Path, which I just want to say that the Sacred Heart Path is when you are motivated by a loving relationship. Some people are motivated by other things, but certain people, I am hearing a lot of movement on the microphone. Is that you, or?
My computer's making noise. Breathing or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm hearing so much noise. It sounds like you're like over there filing or something.
No,
you might want to mute.
Let me see.
But anyways, I noticed that. I was like, oh my gosh. But and so really part of this whole thing is breaking patterns of codependency, because our world right now is founded on codependency. Everything in this world since the fall of man from their connection from Source, if you will, is all based on patterns of codependency. So, the article that I wrote was all about breaking those patterns of codependency, beginning to stand in your own truth, stand in your own power, uncover all the blocks that you have to love, uncover all the false belief systems that you have that keep you from being who you truly are. And then once you're able to do that, then it's a symphony of your highest self coming into union with others. Yes, into union, in a physical union with lovers, twin flames, twin souls, soulmates, however that works for you. But even more than that, you come into union with all. So you literally remove all your blocks through this process. The motivation is, we'll do certain things. We will work extra hard if we're motivated by that person that's catalyzed us. And there's definitely something to the dynamic. I mean, it's an extremely catalytic dynamic. So I feel it's a very important part of the process for those of us on that Sacred Heart path. But ultimately, it's all about ascension. It's all about moving into higher and higher dimensional frequencies, and that is returning to your original state of being. And the beauty of that is that we are experiencing individuation in all of this, but when we get to that place where we really feel our union with Source, our union with all that is, it makes it so much easier for us to have that with another, have that in the way that we wish, because we are meant to have a physical union. We have bodies, hello. We couldn't stay in spirit, and we didn't want to. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to say, though, is that every single soul is on the Sacred Heart path. We all are. Because it's moving back into living from your Sacred Heart. That's the whole reason this is happening. We have to move into that from ego.
Then maybe what I have to rephrase is the twin flame path. Because Sacred Heart path, yes, but, there are a lot of people that go through different paths to get there. Some people have horrible, debilitating diseases that get them back in touch with who they are, and they have to go through a clearing process, and they have to do all these things. I'm talking specifically about people who are highly motivated by love. So maybe your definition of Sacred Heart path is a little bit more broad than what we're talking about in the twin flame community, where people are saying, I'm a twin flame, I'm a twin soul, and these things. They're a group of people that are in collection, where there's a whole bunch of people that are not on that same path. But maybe what you're saying is the Sacred Heart path is not just limited to twin flame. It encompasses twin flame and everything else.
Yes, everyone is part of it. Well, I call it Sacred Heart Ascension. It's the same name as my Facebook page, because we are all moving back from out of ego to live from our Sacred Hearts. And that's what I talk about all the time. So it's Sacred Heart Ascension. But twins are doing the same thing. They're moving out of ego to live from their Sacred Heart. So it is, it's just, that's the ascension process. Part of it, it's a piece of the ascension process.
Right.
Is dissolving that ego. We don't fully dissolve the entire ego, though, because you do have to have it to live. But,
and it shows up
getting rid of the
while.
Yeah.
It shows up every once in a while.
Yeah. So I do want to, I also, I wanted to talk about that, the 23rd, all this stuff that's coming up with people, and the messages and stuff. Is the earth are we gonna have a flood tomorrow? All these things. I know a lot of people, I know Negla and Marla said they had gotten a couple messages as well, people asking. And it's whatever we put our thoughts into is what we create. It's all about our thoughts. We manifest what's out here in our universe, and the more people that place their thoughts into the negativity, because the dark side is putting that fear into you by putting it on TV, by putting it on the social media, by bringing up all the old revelations and putting all the stuff back in. They're old templates. They're old templates that are in this repetitive cycle that they keep coming up, and people are, as we've gone 100 years or 200 years or 300, whatever it is, these templates continue to come up, and they haven't been reduced to nothing yet. And that's what we're supposed to be doing now, is getting rid of them. If you notice the Nibiru thing, that's happened before. The whole comet hitting the planet and destroying it, that's happened before. What were some of the other things that I was, I think I talked to you about this.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
This
honestly,
stuff
I've been
with the revelation.
Not even paying attention.
Yeah, this whole revelation thing happening. This has already happened. That's when greed came in. Why are people thinking it's going to happen again? They have to let this go. These are pieces, and these are people that are in fear from it, or actually, I feel, having cell memory recall from this. And they've lived through it, and now it's coming up again. So when they read it and they have the fear of it, it's the fear that they haven't let go of yet. It's part of a template. I haven't been experiencing that. That hasn't been in my consciousness at all. I really don't even have people in my sphere that are even thinking about it. Right. It wasn't in mine until you actually told me about the revelation. When you
were talking about the 12 stars of your painting, and that's all I said was that basically someone had said to me that was biblical. And, I have read Revelations. But, it's really funny. It's kind of like I went through a phase of my life where I was very much into the conspiracy theory rooms. I mean, I'll have to say that's where I met my sacred connection. And there was tons and tons of all this, I want to say tinfoil hat stuff and everything else. And I know that there's stuff going on, but it's really strange is that I don't even see any of that stuff anymore. well, right now I'm barely seeing anything because of Facebook blocked me, but, I'm not seeing a lot of that. Yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah. So I know that it's there, but.
And it's not even just this tomorrow thing. It's everything that people need to understand in the twin flame rooms as well. When you put out that fear that you're not going to have this connection with your twin ever again, and you're sitting in this fear, this is a cyclic, rhythmic pattern. It's part of a template. It's a piece that you haven't let go of. So if you're constantly going through this again, it means you haven't let it go in the past life. And when I work with my clients, I'm like, here we go. You're bringing this up again because you have not released this before. So now it's surfacing again. This is the life to do it. This is the time to let these things go, to release these fears. I just want to say that it all has to do with our thought process. Get out of the mind. It's all about the mind. It's about being stuck in that ego mind. When you get out of the mind and you move to the heart and you live in the now, in the very moment, those past things don't keep coming up.
Right.
It's that, you've got to let those things go. You've got to release them to be able to move forward. We have to let go of the old so that we can have the new. And I think you and I have been saying that for a long time. It's just it's part of this process. We have to do it. If we don't do it, you don't move forward. You remain stagnant. And you don't move anywhere. You just go, you just stay in that process, in the cycle.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of that, I've been in some of the rooms, the last couple of days, and I've been talking with people a little bit, and I've had some sessions with some clients over the last, week, and basically the stuff that has been most helpful, I think, is the need to clear. We are in a constant clearing process, and as much work as I have done, there's still a continual need to do more and more clearing. And that is just really letting go of, as you're saying, the thought process. It's realizing, I'm looking at it this way, what we're really doing is we're becoming so much more conscious. We're becoming more and more conscious of the stories that we're telling ourselves, and we're stopping ourselves in the track. And if you're in one of those situations where you're not really finding yourself at peace, it's probably because you're telling yourself stories about what you're seeing. And a lot of the success that I've seen with people that are on this path is that they really step into the clearing their stuff. They really grab hold of the fact that it is their responsibility, that it is nobody else. Nobody else can do it for you. It is really up to you to take a look at what's standing in your way that's keeping you from knowing your highest self. And a lot of that is the stories we tell ourselves in our different situations. So I'm just going to say it again. My go-to clearing technique is Ho'oponopono. I swear by it. I've been using it. It's funny. I used it for the first 3 years of my connection, and then I kind of let it go for a little while. And then recently, as I'm fine-tuning and I'm having the slightest recurrence of some of the patterns that I had already really dealt with and let go of, just the tiniest little thing. And the moment it comes up, it's like, Ho'oponopono, and I say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, and I love you. I say that 2 or 3 times, it's gone. It's gone for good. It's this continual process, and this is what's moving us into the ascension. This is the letting go of these false belief systems, letting go of the things that don't resonate with us, letting go of, the people that are in our consciousness and people that are around us that we're not resonating with, to be okay with that and to let go with it and open up doors for new people to come in. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that said, geez, I feel really lonely right now. I feel really lonely right now. I'm used to having people around me, and really the only people that get me are people that are going through this path right now. Well, that's because at this point, we're all kind of helping each other along this path. But people are popping like popcorn. I mean, seriously, people are waking up left and right and center. And a lot of us that have been doing this work for a long time, you know, we're starting to get to a point where, you know, we're doing the fine tuning, and we're kind of maybe able to help some other people along that are just, you know, still pushing forward. So anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So the other thing that's happening tomorrow, though, is the divine connection of the goddess energies. Back to
okay,
Earth.
What if you talk a little bit about like that?
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I posted the thing on my painting and all the synchronicities that have come up with it and the messages that are in the paintings. And then for those of you who don't know, in my paintings, I go into a trance-like state, and I don't know what's going to come through. So the energy of the painting, like Deb, you've experienced the painting. You actually came in and put your hands on it last summer when I started it.
Yeah.
So in all of my paintings, I have intentions into them. I write intentions on the canvas and everything, and I put the intentions in it to change the world, change humanity, and bring peace and love and joy, and remove the things that, the templates that don't need to exist anymore. And in this painting, as I was finishing it and all the synchronicities were coming up, what I did finally understand is that it's the reconnection that's happening this weekend of the goddess back to her own earth. It's rightfully hers. It's Mother Earth. It's Gaia's planet. It is not ours. We don't own it. We don't own any piece of land. You can say, I bought a piece of land. You don't own it. You really don't. Nobody does. It's her earth, and we're supposed to be honoring that and respecting it, and respecting all the life forms that come along with it. It brings us abundance in so many ways that people don't even see anymore because of all the materialism and stuff. But what actually is happening is the return of the divine feminine energies. That's the Magdalena energies. From my painting, it shows the Sisters of the Rose and stuff. And I just want everyone to know that everyone carries the feminine energy, men or women, so that feminine energy connection, even though it's going into the goddesses that are here, because there are many goddesses that are back on the earth right now, that energy is going back into all souls. I was visually shown that to awaken us even further, including those that carry more masculine energy, to bring us into balance, because actually that's what today is about too. I believe it's made on the first day of autumn, and you celebrate, you celebrate the balance of light and dark, and the balance of abundance and everything, and that's actually what's happening. So that's what's actually happening with this divine feminine energy coming, because the patriarchal control system actually took over for so long, and with industrialization on the planet that was formed by man. By masculine energy, I'm going to say that, yes, because it's what is coming through me. It's time for the feminine energy to come back and not to take it over, but to bring it back into balance to where it needs to be, which is also every single soul is going to be receiving this energy back into their sacred hearts. And so for those of you that feel like you're out of balance with your twin, there's going to be some more things going on, some more shifting going on for those that are in relationships with partners, anyone. For those that are not in balance already, that haven't gone through the process to the farther extent where they've connected to their God self, you're going to be going through some more of these energetic shifts with this energy coming in, so expect it. Don't worry about it. Accept it. Allow it to happen. Be receptive, because this is going to help everyone in this piece of the process. And this is another piece of us, another way to balance Mother Earth as well, and the consciousness. So this is all working together, not just for the divine feminine energy coming back to balance Earth, but also this is going to help the twins as well. It's really big, and there's some behind-the-scenes work that I have been doing as well with that energy. So just know that everything is happening for the better for both the masculine and the feminine. It's why we're here. And I just want to say to everyone, please wake up to why you're here, because there's so much of that drama going on. Like when Debbie, when you and I scanned the Twin Flames room, there's so much drama going on there, and I know we want to talk about this. And so much complaining about the twins and whose twin did what and this and that, and that's not what this process is about. Creating drama and staying in that drama. That's the stuff you have to let go of and leave behind, or you don't move forward. There's no balance there when you're sitting there in that drama, and you're not meant to. You're not. From what he said last week, is what they brought through to me. Is you're not supposed to go sit in your room for a week and focus on the negative part of it. You're supposed to go and face it and clear it to help move yourself forward.
Well, and that's why I've been spending a lot of time in the rooms talking to people and trying to get them refocused on a different perspective. I don't know if I don't think I ever said that there's drama going on as much as there's a lot of people that are going through the struggle right now. Well, I basically see a lot of people struggling, with their own perspective and feeling really in a bad place because they're not with the person that they want to be. And my heart goes out to them because I know how that feels. I know how, devastating. I mean, I'm hearing stories about people whose, twins are having babies with another person, or they're finding out that, and the thing is that my heart reaches out to everybody and says, I completely understand what you're going through. What we have to figure out is how are we going to lift ourselves out of the space of, I want to say, the stories that we live in on a day-to-day basis, that we create more into our reality, and how can we focus elsewhere in places that are more productive. And that's where we get into, number one, just changing our perspective on what we're going through, and that, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be stuck. There's other ways to get through this. You can actually change your vibrations. You can focus your attention elsewhere. You can begin to explore so many aspects of yourself and how you respond to this and why you believe that and why you tell yourself this and how is it productive for you and that. And those are some of the things that this whole process brings too. And what she is saying, what Kalina is saying, is that some of these energies that are coming in is actually, it's for the benefit of everybody raising up their vibrations enough. All that happens when you raise your vibration is you have a higher perspective. Unfortunately, when we don't take the time to raise our vibrations and we don't take time to focus on keeping them as high as possible in the most incredible circumstances, when we focus on that, if we don't focus on keeping the vibrations high, what happens is we have a low perspective of our situation. So we're like flat on the ground and we're looking around and we can't see the reason for anything. But when we raise our vibrations, and I don't care how you do it, whether you go out to nature, whether you ground yourself, whether you, play some really great music, whether you go visit someone that you love dearly, whatever it is, get some sun on your face. As you're doing that, when you raise your vibrations, you're opening yourself up to raise your perspective of your situation. That is the only thing that's wrong with any of us in any given situation. We can't see a higher perspective in that particular moment of now. So the whole objective of ascension is to raise us up in vibration, raising until we see such a high perspective that everything makes sense. And when everything makes sense, we no longer need to participate in the types of interactions that we do with others because we see why it's happening. We're able to let go more. So that's just a little bit about, in terms of what I'm seeing in the rooms is that, my whole objective is to reach out to everybody and say, listen, what can we all do to change the vibration here? And what is it that you can see beyond this lower level perspective that you're seeing as we see a higher perspective? It's a co-collaboration between you get a higher perspective and then you get a higher vibration and then you get a higher perspective than that and then you get a higher vibration. And it's a building process as you build your bridge, the rainbow bridge, back to your authentic self. Yeah.
Yeah, the painting, the rainbow bridge.
Yeah.
So, I went through there like a week or so ago. I was going through and looking at, and it was a lot of created stories, but they were very dramatic. They were getting into it, and then people were fighting and stuff, and so I just was like, the negativity, if you don't keep the vibrations up, it pulls other people down as well. If their vibrations, if they're not strong enough to hold their vibration, it pulls other people in. So we have to be careful. We have to be, we have to stay in the heart. That's the main thing. Staying in the heart and the compassion, of course, for everyone. But it's really, really, I feel like we really need to be present in the now, staying in that higher vibration. Like Katumi, he's always in that higher vibration. Yeah. Maybe it's easier for him.
Yeah, well, of course. He's walking the show. He's got the highest perspective, and that's exactly my point. That's the greatest lessons that, Katumi has taught me personally, is that, the more you last, the higher vibration you are, the easier it is for you to see a higher perspective. And it's been an incredible experience learning all of those things directly from him, that, it is all about the highest perspective. And yeah, when you're way up there, you see it makes sense. When everything makes sense, geez, you can laugh about everything, can't you? But when you're down on the trenches and nothing makes sense to you, and you're looking around and you're like, what the heck is happening? So anyways, I think probably we are a half hour into it. I think I'd like to start taking calls. What about you?
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, you were? Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yes, and I wanted to say really quick is that the other thing was that whole energy thing that's coming back also is about the peace offering that's coming back in. And I'll explain that another time. I'll probably write about it. But
okay.
I've done videos on it. There's peace coming to the planet. We just have to be the ones to stay in our high vibration, put that thought out there, and create it. So.
Well, did you want to talk about it now?
Well, no, it just wants to say, it's just going into it for the twins, too. If you want to have peace in your life and peace in your relationship, then you need to create it. So.
Well, that's the truth. We are constantly creating our reality by our thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's the mistaken thoughts. They're mistaken perceptions. They are just simply mistakes. And when they talk about sin, and the sin in the Bible and all that, what they were really talking about is mistaken thought. When you have mistaken thought, you miscreate. So what we have to do is we get back to the higher perspective so that we don't make things up in our head all the time. I can't tell you how many times I hear people are making stories in their head about situations that they're observing, trying to make sense of them. So, raising our consciousness to see what we're making stories up about, that's all part of this process. And I think I'd like to talk to some people, and I want to hear some questions. So what I'm going to...
And I would like to... Oh, Katumi, no. I would like to add something, Deborah.
Okay.
Shoot. I don't want you to talk tonight. Yes, please. Well, one moment. Just one, okay. I only will say this one thing, and then I will allow everything else to flow. I want to say one thing, Deborah, because you're my challenge.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a mistake.
Exactly.
And people need to take that word out, get rid of out the dictionary. We learn from everything that we do. There's no such thing as a mistake.
What I meant was
there you go. Go on.
No, what I meant was a misperception of the truth. And people do it all the time. And even though we say there's no such thing as mistakes, what I'm saying is it's misperception of the truth.
There you go.
And they do it all the time. They tell themselves stories all the time that are not true.
And I love that you have rephrased it now. Now you can take your callers, and I will step back and be quiet.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go into Q&A mode now. All right. Anyone that would like to ask a question, I guess it's *6. Put yourself into the queue, and you can ask your question. All right, we've got a caller, and let me see. All right. Area code 407, you are on the air with us. Who are we speaking with?
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, is this, sorry, I guess it's me.
Yes, who is me?
Okay.
Who's me?
Okay, Rachel, it said 407, and that's not.
Hey. Hey, Rachel. Rachel, were you the person that I was chatting with just a little bit on the group? Or you had put a comment, oh, I'm so glad that you called in. Terrific. What would you like to talk about tonight? What would you like to know?
And the timing's amazing because I just did, because it said you started at 8:30. Right?
Yeah, it was.
I
know it was perfect timing.
It sure was. Okay, so I made a bargain with God on this, but okay, so what's my question? Just like anything?
Yeah, well, hopefully related something to do with the Ascension, Twin Flame,
Union,
partnership, union.
Just ask what your one question is that you really want to know, because we've got other people in the queue too.
Okay. Okay, so in the past about 3 weeks, I swear me and my twin flame are going through a dark night of the soul. And Colleen, I did see you in like July or August, just so you know. But I swear we're going through.
Yep, I know who you are.
But I think my parents tell me, something different, and then I just my thoughts have, been all over the place, and it's like I don't think I've ever been through anything like this in my life, and I just kind of. I don't know. I just kind of want to know if this is what I'm going through and if things are going to get better, like God. And I'm getting signs that things are going to get better, and they clearly haven't yet.
What kind of problems are you dealing with right now?
Well, the worst part is my twin flame is moving temporarily to Atlanta, so that really sucks because custody issues with his child, and everything was taken from him, and so kind of like that materialistic thing, and plus his own daughter, and questioning that, even though I believe it's his daughter. Then my end, I have literally been crying on the floor, screaming and bawling for the past 3 weeks. I've never done that.
Can I just simply offer what's coming to me right now? And this is going right along the lines of what I was talking about, higher perspective. We have to understand that every single thing that's happening in these unions are for the good of the union. And if it's not happening, it's not for the good of the union. So if he has to go to Atlanta for whatever reason and it causes separation between the two of you physically or whatever, it's needed. It's needed to help break patterns. It's needed to help you develop your own sense of self. It's developed, all of the different reasons. The thing I'm beginning to see with everything that I've experienced personally, you can sit and resist all day long what's really happening, but you have to understand that your higher self is orchestrating this whole connection. It is in charge. It knows what you need to actually move along your ascension path, along your connection path. And him going is needed. I mean, I could go into my detailed story, and I'm not going to, but I can tell you that every single day there's never something staying the same. It's always changing. It's always shifting. But I can tell you from the higher perspective, there's a reason he has to go. There's a reason why you have to experience this. You know what's going to make this a whole heck of a lot easier for you? Embrace it. Know that this is something that you need, your soul needs. Get excited about it. Geez, what opportunity is this going to open up for me? Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta. Maybe I'll get to go do this because I'm going to keep myself busy because he's busy, and I'm going to, do you see what I'm saying?
So I've been
there. You know what, Rach, I think we talked about this when you were here. As the one thing that I was talking to you about is that you need to remember that we've planned everything before we came. And it's called the blueprint. And some people refer to it as a life map. So these things are all planned to take you through your process of purification, of the releasing of all of the things that you're holding within you, all the fears that you have within. right now, obviously, you're going through the fear of him leaving and probably abandonment, of him not coming back or not seeing him again. Does that sound right?
Yeah, because we've had separation a lot.
Right, but that's only just a piece of the process to have these things surface within you, and these things that you have to remove, that you have to let go of. It's like what we were talking about earlier before we, in the beginning, is that the fears. This is putting that negative vibration in you. You've got to keep your vibrations up and stay in that high vibration. And like Debbie said, we need to see from outside. We need to see the big picture of why this is happening. We need to understand that this is happening for the good. This is not for bad. Because when this stuff is happening, it's propelling you forward as you go through these cycles, as you go through these pieces of this huge puzzle that is a part of your reality right now. But you have to remember that we also create our own universe, okay? So it's up to you to keep your vibration high, like Deb was talking about before. Focus on
amazing.
Focus on yourself right now. I know you're going to school too still, right? Aren't you still going to school? Focus on that. Focus what you're doing for yourself. Focus on the things that are in your alignment right now, the things that are in your path. When you focus on those things in your own vibration, in your own universe, and creating your outcome, that's what's important right now. Allow him to have his space. He needs to have that space, just as you do, for the process. Well, it is a purification process that everyone needs to go through in removing these templates.
Yeah, there's some things that you can do for yourself too. You know, you can really nurture yourself. You know, I want to say that I spend a lot of time. I grab my sacred space whenever I can, and I make it a point to dote on myself sometimes. I will, when I'm feeling those ways, like you were saying, throwing yourself down on the ground and crying, I put my arms around myself and I hug myself and I tell myself, I love you. I love you, you know. Sometimes you really need to care for yourself. You need to do the things that your soul loves to do, whatever that is. I mean, take the time. Sometimes you don't want to do the things that you like to do because you want to focus your attention elsewhere, like on the twin or whatever. But if you can say, you know what, just for this moment of now, I'm going to find something that I can do that really makes me feel good about me. And even if that's just a simple hug, or if it's a simple, you know what, I'm going to spend an hour and I'm going to play every one of my favorite songs. Or I've got a show that I've been wanting to dive into, and I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to read this book just for me. Whatever it is, nurture yourself. Focus on yourself. And, you know, that right there is when you start focusing on yourself, what you're doing is you're actually putting that into your union. They feel the release of that frantic energy, and they're able to be relaxed. Because the truth is they want to be in that space with you as much as you want to be in that space with them. But we have to let go of a lot of the that chaotic energy and start embracing what calms us. What I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times I hugged myself and told myself I love me. I had to.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, though, Rachel, when you focus on yourself, you're honoring your own self. You're honoring your soul. You're honoring the reason that you're here. And have compassion for yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself. That's a big thing. Okay?
Okay. And I just assume you guys know that all the stuff I'm going through, it's like dark stuff, like just like a lot of like dark feelings and thoughts.
Oh, of course. Of course. But see, the thing is that how do you get out of darkness? How do you get out of darkness? You go find the light. That's the only way.
And how do you find the light? It's about getting rid of the fear. That's how you let the light in.
Focus elsewhere. Focus elsewhere.
Hard. It's like my ego's never been so rampant.
Well, but that's okay. It's coming up. It's coming up, and you're conscious of it now, aren't you? You're conscious of it. When we become conscious of what's going on with us, it gives us a fighting chance. If you're sleeping, you don't even see it. So you're aware of it, but I'm telling you,
The way to fight the dark feelings and the dark experiences, get out in nature. Go for a walk. Go do something, anything that gets you outside. They get to go hug a tree. I'm serious. You might think that that's so silly, but when you raise your vibrations, you automatically bring yourself up to see something differently. And you'll find yourself drawing to you people who will tell you different things about your circumstances. You'll have different people saying, oh, no, it's not this. It's this wonderful thing. And you're going to draw that kind of energy to you as opposed to people going, oh, yeah, things are horrible. Things are blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Rachel, didn't I talk to you about getting into nature?
Oh, I always
weren't getting into it enough.
I've been so busy, I haven't had as much time to.
Right.
We
have to create the time. We have to create that time because that's when you nurture yourself. It truly is.
Oh yes.
So, but the one way to get the light into you though is to release the fears. Okay. The fears are the dark. The fears is the dark energy. And the only way you're going to release the dark energy is to get rid of the fear. That's when the light.
Why don't you give her an idea of how to do that, too? That might be a good help. How do you let go of fear? That would be very helpful, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about that when you were here? Didn't we talk about that? Releasing fear?
Well, I'm sure other people would like to hear, though.
Well, I just want to make sure that I did go over it with her.
I'm sure I did and don't consciously remember.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, I know it's I have to follow in my heart, but or something.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of different ways, but in one of the other fears, Deb says she does the Ho'oponopono method. Another way of releasing fears is getting into the emotion of the fear. Find the fear that you're having an issue with right now. What's that fear and what's it based on? And go into meditation, get into a sacred space, get into nature, and go out there and really get into the emotion of it, the feeling of it, and allow it to release. You need to get into that emotion. Let yourself cry. Let that start coming out and surfacing, and allow and do the Ho'opono as well, because that's what I always tell my clients to do. Start saying that repeatedly over and over and over until you feel that that fear literally releasing from all of your bodies, not just the physical body. It releases from the physical, the mental, the emotional, spiritual, all of it, the cosmic. You will feel it literally, that dense feeling coming off of you. You will feel it lift and raise, and then all of a sudden you'll feel, shoot, it'll be gone. But you've got to get into. You've got to focus on it. You've got to find the fear. You've got to get into that emotional state of being, into that mentality of it, and really get into it. Allow yourself to cry. Don't hold back. And
I don't.
Yeah, and remember, I think I'm pretty sure I sent you that Ho'oponopono as well. Did I send that to you?
Yes, you did, and I've been using it.
Okay, good. But make sure you get into that mental and emotional state of being when you do it, and repeat it over until you feel it come up. Because you're so very young, and this is probably the beginning of the process for you, the first cycle of your purification, from what I feel. And it gets easier. Please know that. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Ask Debbie.
I've done a lot of that. I've spent 5 years of my life doing nothing but clearing. But I'll tell you what, it's an amazing experience. And getting as far onto the other side as I have, I've just got to say that it's worth every bit of it. I wouldn't have missed this journey for the world because, it's really what it is it's going through an awakening process, which you are on the other side when you first get here, and then you get all these layers and layers of other people's stuff put on you, and then you have to break all those patterns and templates so that you can go back to your original essence of being. And I've been blessed enough to do it through this, what I would like to say, the twin flame path. I mean, it is what it is. That's what I've experienced. So, but then you start getting to the really fun part, which is once you get past the focus on this experience of the twin and what's doing and what's he doing and what I'm doing, you know, and you just start to get into developing into yourself more and starting to enjoy being in your own skin. I can't tell you how much abundance of experiences, of synergisms and people that I've met and things that actually move you along in your whole process. I mean, everything appears for you when you need it. I mean, I have met some of the most incredible people lately, and they're moving my career along, and they're affecting everything, including union. They're affecting everything. So, you know, what we're doing in this process, the beauty of it is we clear the fears and we clear all these problems that we're, you know, confronting these false belief systems. As we get there, we get higher and higher and higher perspectives, then we open up more and more to creating a reality that is beautiful and wonderful. And that is what's really starting to happen to me. So almost everything that opens up, you start to say, oh, wow, that would never would have happened. Oh, wow, look at this, look at this. That's where you're heading. And I guess this is my biggest motivation for doing this kind of a forum or the articles that I'm writing and stuff is that I want to give you the hope that the work leads you to somewhere. It leads you to a place where your heart is full, where your connection is strong, where you move into new kinds of connection that is so much deeper and stronger than what you think of as the bubble phase. What's the bubble phase? Woo! You know, I met someone that's on a pedestal. When you start really working through this stuff and you start connecting on deeper and deeper levels, you start to know. You start to know really what love is. It's not just concepts that you've thrown around in your head. You're experiencing it every minute. So, you know, if nothing else, just let that be a little bit of inspiration. There's a process here, and it's going to get you somewhere. And that place that you're going is fabulous. And this energy that's coming in now and coming in tomorrow and coming in and getting you, you know, stronger and stronger, this is taking us to new heights. So I would just encourage you, you know, reach for the stars here. Reach for the stars in terms of your development, of your being. That's what all of this is about. You know, it's about the bigness of self, not the smallness of self. It's pulling yourself up. So, anyways, I don't know, Iggy, was that somewhat helpful for you?
Yeah, oh my God, yes. Like, I wrote down so much. I am so grateful for both of you guys' advice and just doing the show. So grateful.
Okay. That's what we love to do. That's what we love to do on a Friday night. We like to talk twins. We like to talk ascension.
Just know that everything is well, okay? Keep your vibrations up, my dear. All right?
Okay, I hope that, you know, they mean it.
Oh, absolutely.
Have faith. Faith. Okay?
Now let's
Trust
see.
you.
What was your area code? What was your area code?
440. She's by me.
440. Okay, that's so funny. It was showing up as a different area code when you came over into caller. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute you, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the next caller. But thank you for calling in.
No problem. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much love, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. All right. Let me see. I think the next one that was in.
What's this
Do you remember? Which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth.
All right. We're going to go ahead and go on to Elizabeth. At least that's what your name says here. Are we talking with Elizabeth?
You are.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Elizabeth.
You know, that's a loaded question on this journey, but
Yeah.
Great. I'm going crazy. It's really funny because I, listened to the previous caller, and my situation is so similar. So my heart really goes out to her because I'm going through very similar things where, within the twin flame relationship itself, the process works very well. We work very well together, but there are these outside things going on that prevent our coming together. And in my case, it's similar. It's a divorce that keeps getting stalled. And it just feels like I do all the work, and I feel awesome most of the time. I manifest stuff. I've been trying to make a career change and finally found a terrifying open door, and I went through it anyway. And I feel so good to be doing these things. But 3D just keeps blowing up in my face. And, you know, I have like a good attitude.
What's an example of 3D, what is an example of 3D blowing up in your face? Do you mind asking?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
give me one example.
Okay. Well, the most recent one, which is why I wanted to, you know, ask a question tonight is, so, you know, I'm getting this divorce, and I know the term narcissist is overused, but really my hopefully soon-to-be ex is one. I'm in therapy, and he's pretty textbook. And anyway, it's just, you know, crazy things tend to happen, and there was a lot of trauma and everything that I healed from, and I feel a pretty good high perspective about that, and I'm grateful for it. So what's going on recently is I've been pursuing just the legal process, and he was resisting going through just the financial discovery that everybody has to do, threatening me, blackmailing me, a lot of coercion, and I just ignored him, let my lawyers deal with it, went on autopilot and did my own thing. It's been very, very slow, but I'm just had faith that justice would happen, and it's going to be fine, and I don't even really care about the outcome. I don't need anything. I'd be happy living in a tent. This was my attitude about it.
Blow up?
But just this week, he sent in the documentations, and he's falsifying documents, claiming I owe him $50,000 when he's keeping this house, which is a huge mansion. I am not keeping it. I have no assets, but he's using the circumstances of the situation where, you know, to say I owe him all this money, and my court date got moved back now, so I cannot get divorced for like another 6 months because of because
Didn't you go through this before, Elizabeth?
Yes, I've talked with you before.
Yes, I know you have. I know exactly who you are.
I know you probably do. I had a session with you a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, I had such a good attitude, and I'm like, yes, it's going to be fine. Yes, like freedom is near. My court date's coming up. It's exciting to think about being in a courtroom, you know, and I just don't understand why the timeline keeps getting pushed back.
Wow.
I keep learning lessons, and it's so frustrating.
Well, the thing is that sometimes we don't understand. Again, if you go right back to what I said before, sometimes we do not understand why something happens the way it does. Yeah. And you have to trust. I mean, that's one of the things that with the work that Kalina and I have done together, where she has been of great value to me, is that she has always helped me to see that you have to trust the process. And that is the whole process. So there's things in here that you don't see. I don't know what it is, but I know within 100% surety that there's something that has to happen, and this is why this has to be the way it is. So it's almost as like, I know that the thing that I hear most from my counterpart is a lot about resistance, resisting. You know, when you resist, it persists. When you resist, it gets stronger. Yeah. You go with this flow and you accept it into your reality and say, you know what, for whatever reason this is happening, I'm okay with it. And I know, and this is where you're getting tested, right? You're getting really tested. So if you can embrace it and you can pull it in and pull it closer to you and realize there's something here to be gained. There's something your soul is trying to show you. And you know what? It may be shifts and changes in the way you see the perspective. And who knows what it is? But your soul is telling you have to go through this process. The more that you can go through it it sounds to me like you've got a really great attitude. I mean, I feel that about you. So I don't think it's necessarily that, but this is a reminder to you, the process. Trust it. Trust the process. Trust the process. Because it's so much bigger than union with the twin or with the, the money or the being, the 3D blowing up. It's really about your ascension. Your ascension, and your soul's got this one. I thought, well, maybe I'm being pushed into deeper trust in the universe because I still have this feeling sometimes where I'm like, I'm just going to get screwed by the universe. And I don't.
Well, there you go. Just put that out there.
I was going to say
I try not to have it. I'm like, no, the universe has my back. It's going to work out. But it ends.
Resist it. Don't resist it. Know that that's a thing, that's a belief system that you have, and that it's a belief system that has to be deconstructed. It's not yours. Elizabeth, this isn't yours. This is something that was templated on you and your family aligned. Okay? It's in your family. So you're here to break the template, but you don't have to sit in blame of yourself that, oh, I ate this up. Your soul is going to undo this process for you, and you're going to see it if you can pull yourself up to a higher perspective and see this is going to unfold, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, now I see how that deconstructed. But that belief system, it's got to go. It's got to be dropped. Yeah, because it's not helping you.
No, it's not. And I thought it was enough to be aware of it and try to spend most of my time not feeling that way, or just accept that. Sometimes we have to wait for the universe to smack us with a brick because we missed the tap on the shoulder. But I guess it's just, I end up feeling like that it's unfair is maybe not the right term for it, but that there's no justice because I have done so much, and
I know.
And it's just like, it's just so frustrating. I feel like I have to be perfect at it, and perfectionism is another thing I've had to let go of.
Yeah. And you're not a victim, so
no.
It's about facing, just getting rid of these fears. What I'm actually receiving, because I'm receiving a download while you were talking, is that as you're having this time extended with him, it's also an extension of him having to face his own fears as well. He obviously is going through his own process, but he's fighting it. And the man that you're in this battle with. But what I saw was this extension is going to show you and the authorities some things about him that have not come up yet.
Yeah, I had that thought too. I saw it even with my lawyer. Like, I tried to tell her and stay on top of it, and she was kind of non-communicative, and that was frustrating, but I tried to surrender and feel when I needed to surrender and when I needed to have action. But now she gets it. She sees it, and she's, wow, this is a mess. I never would have expected him to do this. I'm so sorry. I should have done this and this and this from the beginning. So I'm hoping, I had that same thought where it's going to work out, and the same thing, that something would open up that would work more in my favor. But I guess I am having trouble with faith because it feels like what religion always does, which is, well, just wait for this thing in the future and your suffering will be worth it and everything will be better. And it's this ever-receding frontier that I can never reach. It's like an asymptote.
You know what, Elizabeth?
It really is about suffering, though.
Yeah,
it really is. It is about suffering, because if we don't suffer, then we can't get to the other side.
But why?
It's part of life. It's part of this process. It really is. I think Buddha is the one who actually talks about suffering. I remember that from a long time ago when I was in my 20s, reading something about that.
I thought that he said that suffering was optional, that you choose to suffer by how you experience things, and that you can change. What I've been working on is saying, okay,
absolutely, you can change the vibration.
I can, I can't change what happens to me, but I have absolute control over how I experience what happens to me, which is basically
the
vibration.
If you suffer, you know you're suffering. You're the one who can shift that suffering. You're the one who can take yourself out of it.
Yes. I do so much, and I'm like, hey, it's exciting to think of, even if I have to declare bankruptcy, like, I have to live in a trailer, at least I'm mobile, and it'll be an adventure. It's like I'm able to kind of get to those places, but it feels like it's not enough.
Yeah. Well, and again, don't allow him to pull you into his drama. He's creating that extra drama.
Yeah.
In your life. Don't allow him to pull you. Keep your vibrations up. Okay. He's bringing in the negative so that you have to go and bring your light.
Yeah.
Okay? Shine your light.
It has been helpful recently. I do feel like I'm not afraid. That's what, Kalina, you talked to me about on our last session, was like not being afraid of him. And I always have wanted that for a while, but for some reason it's been very difficult to get there. But just recently, there are a couple shifts that happened where I really felt much more fearless. And this 3D thing blew up anyway.
Yes, some of these things have to happen so that you can actually release them. You can see there's going to be other things that are going to come up. They're going to submerge with it, and it'll just show you some other things that you have to let go of.
Yeah.
It's part of the process.
Yeah. Okay.
That's part of the
you guys,
process.
you have other, you recommended already getting out in nature to kind of as ways
Always.
to
reconnect with Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Because she's a healing. She's like a healing temple. Earth is a healing temple.
Yeah.
And you get your feet on it without shoes. Make sure you take those rubber shoes off. Or if you get your hands on a tray or whatever.
I do that,
into Mother Nature. Meditate in Mother Nature. Meditation is one of the best things that people can do. And if you can't meditate, at least just sit in silence. Same thing. Sit in silence and just
I love that.
That's
what I do. I love just going outside. I like going outside and listening to the sound of the trees blowing.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just it's detaching from all of the things that are going on with me at any given moment. Just getting out and reconnecting with thoughtlessness. You know, just
and you have great
relaxing.
sound in your backyard, Deb.
Yeah,
you have
wonderful sound. Yeah, but you know, I mean, you can find it anywhere you go. You just have to try, and it's not just nature either. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do to shift those vibrations, because that's what I keep, the thing that I'm beginning to see the clearest is that when I changed my vibration by doing something that, I mean, it can be literally just music, literally just having something, a song on that I like, will make me see a completely different perspective than I was seeing 5 minutes before. So we really have to take conscious control of our thoughts, and we have to take responsibility and say, listen, how I'm feeling at any given time is in my hands completely. It doesn't matter who's doing what. You know, it doesn't matter what the twins doing. It doesn't matter what the courts are doing. It doesn't matter what, you know, the ex-husband or husband to be ex-husband is doing. It doesn't matter. But it's almost like, I always say this, you got homework assignments. This is a homework assignment. And I have a 19, 20-year-old, almost 20-year-old. Or is she going to? Yeah, she's not 21 yet. Oh, I'm thinking, oh, God. But anyways, she tests me all the time. Now, she's at college right now, so it's wonderful. No, I miss her. But truthfully, homework assignment, homework assignment, homework assignment. It's all about homework assignments. And if you can just see that and you can say, oh, it's a final, I'm passing my exam. When you go with that kind of philosophy and you say, I'm going to take this on and I'm going to pass this test and I'm going to get past it, I'm telling you, it's like it gets easier than make yourself bigger. In other words, make yourself bigger than the situation. And that's when you raise your vibrations. That's what happens.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I like that way of thinking about it. It kind of gives me a visual for something I can.
Yeah, make yourself bigger.
Imagine.
And you know all about tests.
Yes, I do. I do them a lot. I have a lot to do with them. Do you guys think that the divine feminine typically has taken on more in these lifetimes?
In this lifetime, right? Like right now, you mean, in the process?
Yeah. Do you guys this during this time period?
Yes, because we're doing. I feel, and Deb and I've talked about this. We're doing more of the clearing because we're the ones that are more awake, we feel. We're farther along in this process. There are a lot of men that are awake. There really, truly are. But on the twin flame path, it seems to be like more of the divine. Those have taken on more of the feminine energy are the ones that are doing more of the work, the healing, the inner wound healing, and going through this process. And you know what I think, though, is that, I'm going to say this, is that women are stronger. Seriously. We give birth to children. We do how many things? 3 things at a time at the same time, and we don't have a problem with them. We still have our mental capacity at the same time. While we physically could be lifting a child, we go through so much ourselves as a divine feminine in not only physical strength but mental and emotional strength. We go through a lot, and I feel like that we agreed to take on this piece of the role in the process. And yes, I feel like, Deb, I know you agree. I've seen your process, Deb. I've watched you. she does most of the clearing.
Yeah.
I watch her. I mean, I've been working with her, and I've seen this. It's definitely the feminine. From all of the people that I know, all the ones I've talked to, it is the feminine that are doing this, because so many of the men are barely awake.
And can I tell you why I think that is? Because I definitely think it's the patriarchal energies that have been controlling the planet really enslaved the men even more than the women. They've indoctrinated them so much into thinking they have to think from this perspective. They're having hard times breaking from their, what do you want to say, karmic partners and karmic relationships and everything else, because they've been so brainwashed into thinking, you know, you have to do this and this and this. But what's even worse is some of the newer spiritual ones, the ones that are coming in that have all these spiritual philosophies, they think, oh, well, if I just, you know, sit in this bubble of love and everything else, well, I can make anything work out, even if it's absolutely never was even destined to be that way. They'll stay because they're so programmed to do that. That's a lot of what's going on right now is the divine masculine still entrapped and enslaved by that patriarchal energy. Guess what's happening, though? That's changing tomorrow. That's been changing, actually.
It's starting already. Katumi just whispered in my ear to all the divine feminine. He said, thank you for your service.
Thanks, Katumi. We appreciate you, Katumi, because you are helping us.
Do you guys ever wonder, something I've wondered about too is whether somehow we still hold on to too much of that sort of self-sacrificing template, I guess, because I've been involved with a lot of mom communities online for a number of years, and just it actually has to do with kind of where I want my career to go. And I just see so much self-sacrifice, and it's been a part of my path is letting go of that idea. But sometimes I feel that way still, where, oh my gosh, I have to carry this heavy burden. And the way I feel better about it is saying, well, it's because I'm strong, because I'm capable, and I can do all this, and I'm so awesome. But it sometimes almost feels like I'm doing it to myself, or I'm not allowing him, my template, to help me carry it.
That template, and also the one where you're trying to save. We try to save everyone. Those are two templates that.
I'm working on them, girlies. I'm working on them.
I guess I am too.
And those
you are.
Those go back to Atlantean times.
Yep. I was going to say that, Galena. Yep.
Yeah.
In what way?
Absolutely. Just the fact that, you know, the destruction, and we were all part and parcel to it. We couldn't stop it from happening. And so those are the starseeds that are back. I was just having the same conversation earlier. We go above and beyond to accommodate and help and make people feel better about themselves and their lives and everything else. And we're going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure everything's okay. Because we're so freaking guilty that we didn't take care of it back then, that we had the destruction that we had.
Right. So we have to release the guilt, and we have to release those templates. But the fact that you see it, you can acknowledge it now and remove it. So, you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
I guess I need to keep the timeline in perspective too. Sometimes I try to think, when I'm 85 or 185, if we manage to rework the genetics, then, you know, these 6 months are going to be nothing.
Right. Well, and in the course of your existence, blink of an eye, not even what eye.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, gosh. Kasumi is laughing here. Oh, he wants to talk so bad, but I told him no.
No, Kasumi. You little silly sausage.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
We're able to help you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hang in there, okay? Hang in there. I know where you're at.
Okay.
You're doing well.
You got this, girl. You got it.
Thank you.
Fist bump. Keep going. All right. Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Bye.
Bye. All right. And we do have, I know who this is. Jane.
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, I just wanted to say hi and that I missed you and that I love you all very much.
Oh, how are you doing?
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on, but I mean, I know what it is. So.
Well, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So, like, I guess recently the way I process things, it's changed. So now I see the trigger. I understand where it's coming from. Like, it's even going back to when I was, 4 or 5 years old. And then the emotion is still there. So it's like I see the whole, veil and, like, what's behind it. But the emotions are there, and I don't know how to, I guess, process it and, like, why they're still there, because I see, why it's, like, happening. And this is something that just started, maybe like a month or 2 ago, because before I couldn't, like, see, right away why I was feeling it, and I would be, like, in this, negative emotional state. So now it's just like I am in the emotion, but I see, that it's all, like, fake.
That's illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's part of that removing those layers. And you're getting to soul. That's what's happening. As you remove the layers, you're finding yourself, and you're going closer to the soul and the understanding of what really is. What's happening.
Well, and I think that I can speak from that same perspective. The more you awaken, the more you see what's happening. You're really getting to the fine layers. You're really getting to the fine-tuning. You're so awake and conscious of what's happening to you. It's almost, I hate to, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's almost like going through surgery awake. You're seeing it all happen, but somehow your mind has numbed you a little bit so that you're not feeling the whole surgery, but you're watching it happen, and you're so conscious and aware of it, and you have the ability to influence it and make changes to it. And do you see where I'm going with this? It's yeah. You're witnessing it.
And then my other question is that, and that's kind of started because after the conference we had in Chicago, I started having more twins coming into my life that I, talk to, and they trigger me like crazy, some of them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and I was wondering, because they literally make me feel, and, like, I go through the same emotions as I go with my twin. And I'm, like, at a place right now where I'm fine, with my twin. I mean, I'm seeing the signs, I'm, like, most of the time I'm over. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I lost you for a second.
No,
yeah.
You're still there.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm over this, like, pain phase with my twin, or, like, almost, over it. But then, like, all those, other twins who I'm talking to, they come in and they trigger me the same way he triggered me. And I'm, like, reacting and going through the same time. And I feel like I have several twins, at the same time.
Well, I was going to say, Jane, what does that tell you?
That I haven't processed it yet. But I guess my question is, like,
the patterns.
Are they in to help me? Like, how does that work, with people that are not your twin flames? I mean, are they, like, your soul family that you have, like, a contract with, that they're here, like, you're here to help each other?
Yeah, you have contracts with every single person you come into contact with.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is that some of those people, I mean, we have all contracted to come in on this path to help each other, and we do trigger each other. And when we trigger each other, that shows you, though, there's familial patterning that's sitting there, that it doesn't have to be the twin. That's the whole point that we're talking about with the ascension process. The twin situation will trigger you, boom, 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 if you're in contact all the time, or if that's what you need, or whatever, But you're going to get triggered. If you're on an ascension path that's accelerated, if your twin's not there, someone else is going to come along to trigger those same things. You've got to get those patterns. They don't exist between you and that person. They're in you, and the only way you know is when someone bumps up against you, it's like you're already bruised. So they're not really putting the bruise there, they're just bumping into the bruise. The bruise is on you already. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just like sometimes I can't even think like about my twin because there's all those others, you know, that are triggering me like crazy.
Well, and it's just showing you things you have to get rid of. Showing you things you need to focus on.
We're taking your focus off the twin, too. Look at it that way. You know, you're starting to see how all this fits into the larger picture. This isn't just about the twin. It's not. You know?
Yeah.
It's about you're helping people. See, that's the thing that I'm seeing right now is when you say you've got these people coming in and there's triggering and all this, there is this mutual healing process going on in all these people that you're in contact with. So you're all helping each other and you're helping them. I know from just, you know, having met you, you know, you are, I want to say, refining this process. You know, you're moving up in the process. Well, you're starting to help other people, and that's helping you. It's what Colleen always talks about with Katumi. Teach and learn and teach, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's all part of taking you to where you want to go. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's been hard because since the eclipse, it's like there's things just coming up so fast, and you have like, you know, physical pain, you have like all other triggers, and it's all at the same time, and it's like really hard sometimes.
But we have to remember that we don't have to have that physical pain, because if you see the trigger immediately, then tackle it, face it, get into the emotional, like you know, you and I've talked about, and let that go. Acknowledge that it's there and be grateful for it. You know, thank whoever did it for you. Remember, always be grateful for the person that gave you the trigger, because they're doing it because you contracted that, because you know that's something that needed to surface. And just be totally grateful. But as soon as you have that trigger, you don't have to go into any pain. You release it and keep those vibrations up. It's such a key piece of this process is keeping the vibration up, because a lot of people, when they get triggered, they go into the negativity, but they go into the sadness, or they go to the depression, or whatever.
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I'm usually in like, I mean, I kind of try to maintain this high vibration, and I think it's part of like, you know, me working with you, Kalina, because I mean, I've had like friends who I would go to for help before, and they would like help me out, and just being with them, you know, would make me feel better. Now those people are turning around and they're telling me that by being with me, you know, they feel better, and like I lift them up. And so I try to maintain that state of mind, but then like I would have a dream, and then, you know, I would see like a dream, and I would like wake up and I'm like down again, and I'm like, you know, crap, you know, again. And I have to like process it.
Look at what this test is. This test is to push you to stay in that high vibration no matter what.
Oh,
that's what this test is right now.
Yes, do I understand that?
This is such a huge test, and this is something, I mean, Katumi has come through me, I don't know how many times with how many people, and I know Debbie has come through me for you a lot on this, and keeping the vibrations up, because it's so very important, because if we don't keep it up, then we step into that negative, that dark energy where the control system wants us to stay, okay? And if we're all of us people, if there's 100 people in the room that have had a bad day, and they're all negative, they're all in the negative vibration, and there's 50 people in the room that are in the higher vibration, believe this or not, the light actually wins. Because the light actually, from what I've been shown, is one person in their full capacity, highest vibration, it is much more powerful than 3 people that are in the negative. So you are being pushed in this process. You're being pushed right now and tested to keep your vibration up. It's so very important, because the same thing we talked about early in the show before we started taking phone calls was about all this stuff that's going on this weekend, where people are starting to bring in these negative emotions and saying all these silly things with the templates that are going on. They're trying to pull people down with this. You have to stay up. It's so important. This is part of your job on the planet. This is part of everybody's job on the planet, is to understand that we have to stay in these highest vibrations if we want to change and restructure this planet, and if we want to change our own soul. This is so important to take down this patriarchal control system. Light is winning. If you, like in my vision, when I look at the earth, light has overtaken the dark just enough so that we are winning, and it's going to keep going. But the only way it will keep going is if all of us stay in that higher vibration. So do not allow someone to take your vibration down. As soon as you see the trigger or feel the trigger, face it, remove it, let it go, and keep your vibration up. Okay?
Yeah.
And I would like
to. Yeah.
Well, I just want. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. I was going to say something. I thought it was important.
Sorry.
No. It's okay. I'm sorry I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask Kalina how, because I cannot remove, like, if I have pain in my body, I don't know how to identify that pain with emotion yet. Like, I see the blocks, and I have to ask someone else to do it for me. So, I mean, even if I go into meditation, like, I cannot put them together.
Well, we need to find on our physical body where that actual physical pain is at and align it with our energetic system. So whatever chakra is in alignment. And this is where I always tell people, make sure you understand the chakra system, which each one is for. And the one that a lot of people have issues with seems to be the solar plexus, and that's the one where we allow people to control us, or we give our power away. That's in the stomach area and stuff like that. But it just depends on where you're having that physical pain in the body for like neck issues and shoulder and stuff like that. That's usually the throat chakra, where we're not speaking our truth and our throat chakra's closed. I've done a lot of throat chakra opening and heart openings online for free for people, and I know a lot of people go through that back and forth. It just depends on where that physical pain is. And when you find the physical pain, you align it to the chakra, and you know what that chakra stands for and what that chakra governs. Then go into the meditation and ask for clarity on that actual thing. So if that chakra governs your divine will, what is it that you're doing? Are you giving your power away to someone, or is somebody taking control of you, or somebody like constantly over you trying to control you? Go into that and see if you can find that peace. When most of the time it will come up, because you will realize. And then when you remove that, that's when it will remove that physical pain as well. The only reason you have physical pain is because the energetic system is off balance.
Okay, so I'll have to try that, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you.
When all else fails, Jane, Ho'oponopono. All that stuff is very sophisticated, and I know that it takes a lot of, investigation and working with, the energy bodies and everything. But truly, when you're in pain, if you say Ho'oponopono, I had pain really bad on my left side, and I've had some problems with kidney stones and things like that. I just did a bunch of Ho'oponopono today, and it went away. Seriously. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that I do post this. I did some investigating, and I found a really great article about understanding what Ho'oponopono really is all about. I'm going to plaster it all over Facebook, I think. Because
I be careful, Deb. We don't need to get shut down again.
Oh, yes. No. I've got another profile. I can just go out there and share that link, and I'll boost that post so that Facebook makes their money.
Yeah. And Jane, it is about forgiveness and being grateful and the love, and that you have. And I believe that's exactly what Ho'oponopono is as well.
Yeah, that's one of the issues. I need to look into the Akashic records, so to forgive.
Well, let's say practice.
Forgiveness is something.
Yeah, forgiveness is really important, and that's really part of Ho'oponopono. It's forgiving the situation for perceiving it differently than it really is. Everything that comes into your life is for the highest good. Everything. So when you say, "I'm sorry, please forgive me," all you're saying is, "I'm sorry that I'm misperceiving the situation." Thank you for showing up to show me that I'm misperceiving the situation, and I love you for showing me that I'm misperceiving. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the stuff you're misperceiving, and the stuff you're misperceiving, it truly is just an illusion.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we have to keep remembering, because everything around us is an illusion.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
It's hard to realize. I know. I was going to say it's hard to realize that, but it is. It really is. It's not who we really are.
Right.
Jane, thanks for calling in.
Thank you. It was nice. It was nice hearing you.
Yeah.
We'll see you at the workshop in Ohio.
You're coming to Ohio.
Yeah.
I know. I can't wait for it. I wish I could fast forward.
I know. Sometimes
It'll be here before you know it.
Hey,
I mean, I've seen Kalina twice, but I didn't see Debbie for several months. So.
I know. I cannot wait. I can't wait to hug you, girl.
I know. Me too.
Thanks for calling in. Look forward to seeing you in November. All right, dear. All right.
Bye, Jane. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, and you know what? I want to say, Deb, is that because she had asked me about the discount code for the hotel rooms. It is on we put it on our thing, right?
I don't even know. We'll need to check that after.
Okay, the discount code is available now, and I can't remember if it was KM something, but I thought we put it on the thing. We'll have to double check.
You know my memory.
Yeah. So it is up. It's been up for a little over a week. We just
perfect.
We've been a little
busy.
We've
got a lot of people signing up. We still have some seats available though, and we really would like to have more people come. Absolutely.
I know. Yeah. I know 2 more people coming today. They've told me so.
Yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait. Thank you. Okay, we've got another caller. And this is Irina. Irina, it's been a while since we've talked to you. How are you doing?
Hello, Irina.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
We hear you very well.
Really well. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to find out, since twin flame experience, it's such a big test for me, it's for sure. I think I told you about my story, right? That I met him 2 times. So I'm trying to realize that all these 20 years that I've been searching, I've been dating and I've been going with other people, I realized that I've been looking for this love with a twin flame. And I realized for 20 years, all I did, I've been searching for love. It was him.
Right.
But I just don't understand why I got this experience to meet him and to lose him, right away. What is the test for? I just really cannot understand, because all my life, what I've been doing, I've been looking for this deep connection, and I didn't find it with anyone else.
Right.
I just
so it's
didn't find
it's not like you're not trying to find connection with someone else, but you just, maybe, it's something that I said earlier, and maybe this is something that will help you. Maybe you just need to stop resisting the fact that this is just the truth. The truth is you met this person and they're in your heart and in your soul, and you can't forget them. And maybe you ought to just give yourself a break and say, you know what? Why do you have to know why? Why do you have to explain it away? It is what it is. It is a powerful connection that you experience. And for whatever reason, which you're not sure because you're in the consciousness of this planet, instead of a higher consciousness, which knows all, if you look at it from the other side of the veil, I'm sure Katumi probably knows exactly why. He can't tell you, though. You know why? Because you don't want him to. Your soul doesn't want to know. That's the mystery of life for you to uncover through your journey, is what was this all about? So your soul came in and set you up that way to meet someone and then meet them again and have yourself haunted for the rest of your life by this person. I've got a video. I'm going to put it in the thread. I'm going to put it in your messenger thread for you. It's this song. It reminds me so much of your situation because it's, do you know what song I'm talking about, Kalina? You're Beautiful. You know that song what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, the one that I sent that to you. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, I know who it is.
And I feel like if I never meet him, I never gonna have like whatever I want.
Well, and you want to know what? Maybe the key and the answer for you, Irina, maybe you need to surrender to that. I think that, I said this earlier, we resist. When we resist, we're literally swimming upstream. Maybe you ought to just throw yourself into the river of the river flowing downhill. Just, let yourself go on all that and just allow yourself to say, gosh, what's the worst thing that could ever happen in this lifetime? What's the worst thing? You don't ever see him again, okay? Maybe that is the worst thing that could ever happen. But you want to know what? Something tells me that if you would just surrender to that instead of fighting it and going upstream, I got to find him, I got to find him, I got to find him. You would just allow yourself to flow. No, find it. That the experience that you had. What I'm trying to say to you is maybe if you surrendered that need to have it, which is a want, it is a codependency. If you would surrender that to your highest good, guess what? Maybe you would find yourself there instead of struggling uphill. In other words, sometimes the worst thing that we can do is just say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I got to have this, 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 right? Because what are you doing? You're resisting not having it. But you're also saying, oh my God, universe, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. Maybe if you say, hey, you know what, universe? I surrender the fact that I may never have it. I may never feel that way again. I may never marry. I may never have kids. I may never do all of these things, but I'm going to surrender totally to it. I'm going to throw myself into that lake. I'm going to immerse myself in that experience that I may never find it, and I'm going to cry my eyes out, and I'm going to eat 100 bonbons, and I'm going to, gain 500 pounds, whatever it is. We surrender to it. And guess what? When you let go of the need for it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to find you because you're trying too hard.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
So it means I have to stop to be panic attacks, stop to look for men, stop to think about family and kids, and just stop all that.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah,
You'll find it when you stop looking for it.
Yeah, I think that's what Katumi told you one of the first times you called, is that you have to stop doing it. You have to stop putting the negative thoughts out that you're not going to have it, because every time you put that thought out to the universe, you don't get it. What you put out there, what your thoughts put out there, you get back. So if you're saying, I'm never going to find love, I'm never going to find this, I'm never going to have children, I'm never going to that, that's what happens to you. The universe answers you and gives you exactly what you're putting out there. We talked about this a couple times. So you have to stop that thought process.
It's not like I said I never gonna have it, but I put all my attention for dating life.
That's right.
Like everything, like all my energy I put for dating life to find someone, and I never find someone like to get connection. I never find it. I don't know what.
Right, but
but in your wording, you just said again. You just said, I never find it. Mm-hmm. You have
but that's her experience. That's her experience.
Yes,
but she's putting the words. Yeah.
Yes, but I also feel like this process is showing you your fears as well, and your fears of not having those things, and that's the root chakra. So those are fears that you have to face and start letting go of, and that's what we were talking about the test before, and you were asking, what is the test? The test is to let go of those. You have to let go of those things so you can just have them, like Deb was saying, those are wants and things and desires. That's sacral chakra. So it's part of that. Your energy system is imbalanced. It's such a long thing to talk about, but you have to let go of the wants of things, like Deb just said, so that you can actually have it, so it can actually come back to you.
Well, and again, I just go back to throw yourself into, think of you might want to do this. Imagine yourself at the edge of a very rough bunch of water, like swirling water and stuff, and imagine yourself just throwing yourself in and just allowing yourself to float down whichever it goes. You're gonna bob and you're gonna weave and you're gonna hit one side of this side of the shore, and you're gonna go to the side and you're gonna be all but you're gonna make it. You've got to let go of it all. You've got to let that river bounce you down. What's happening to you right now by focusing so much on what you want, you're swimming upstream. You can't find it. You're never going to find what you look for really, really hard, but when you let go of it, you say, you know what? What if this never happens? Can I live with that? Can I just let go of that thought, that idea that I have to have this, that I have to have that? Then it comes to you. What is meant to be becomes. You know?
You need to surrender.
Thank you,
surrender and trust, Irina. Okay?
I don't know, it's such a limited, for women, it's such a limited time to have, to have a kid, to have family. It's like.
But you know what, Irina? That where there's a will, there's a way. When it comes to having children, when it comes to, you got to understand your soul has a higher plan for that. It has a higher plan for what children you're going to have and who you're going to draw to you in this incarnation. It literally, it's all planned out already. It's in a blueprint. I almost want to say, just trust your blueprint. Trust when you came in, your plan.
Right. Trust in your heart. Go in your heart. Stop being in the head. Stay in the heart and trust in the heart. Live in every single moment of, just live in the moment of the day. Don't think about the future. Don't keep worrying about the future or that I have to have children now because otherwise I'm going to be too old in a few years. Stop thinking about that. Stay in the heart and live for the moment. When you stay in the heart and you're living in the very moment, you're trusting in the plan that you created yourself with your guides before you came here. That's how the process works. So you have to trust in what your own self actually already created.
Thank you, ladies.
You'll be fine.
You're welcome.
You're going to be great. Got to let go.
Thank you
just
so
allow
much.
yourself to just be.
We love you, Irina. It's going to get there. It's going to get there. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm always like so paranoid about all this.
I know, but that's the thing is that the things that we focus on and we obsess over and we just put all our attention on, think about it. We get out of balance with everything else in our life. I know. Trust me. On this path, it's really, really hard not to be focused on that because it's there. It's always there. It's always there in the back of your mind. But, that's when you have to really get really, I want to say strong with yourself and find some other things that interest you as well. It's not like you're going to give up on your hopes and your dreams, but, allow them to come to you. Become a vibrational match with them. Go find some things that you love to do and draw. You will draw to you the right person, but you just have to let go of the need for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. Who I've been talking to?
Well, both Debbie and Kalina. We've just been kind of like, this is what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Go live your life, Irina. Enjoy your life without worrying about that stuff. And when you do, the things will finally come to you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Love you.
Much love.
You're great. Thank you.
Much love. Thank you. All right. So, well, listen, we've got room for another caller. If anyone else would like to call in, we actually have a space in our queue that if someone would like to speak, we have another 15 minutes. I'm sure Kalina and I could find something to talk about.
Well, if nobody wants to talk, I will talk.
Oh my God. To me.
We can have some fantastic conversation with Katumi.
Okay.
I didn't want him to talk.
I know.
But I'm already here. Does everybody want Katumi to talk?
Well, what are we going to take? A show of hands?
Yeah,
show of radio.
If you want Katumi to talk,
raise your hand.
It is not fair, Kalina.
What's not fair, Katumi?
She limits my speaking. She knows I love to listen to myself.
I know you do. But you have a lot of very, very important things to say. So I always appreciate your presence.
First of all, I would like to say As you spoke earlier about the divine feminine being stronger, yes, I do have to agree with that. And I do, well, I was going to say I bow down to the divine feminine, but I better not because I will be beat up on the other side of the veil. So
we don't want that to happen.
I shouldn't say the word beat because it's not a word I should be using either. I won't be beat. They will, you know what will happen. They'll come after me on the ship.
They'll kid you.
Yes, they will. It'll be with words. And most likely it'll be with your earth term words that you people use that you have not taken out of your dictionaries yet. So I would like to say, in this process, as you go through your purification and your methods and your cleansing and all of these things that you have to do to get into your highest light and in your highest love, there's a justification for it. Do you know what it is, Deborah?
One moment, please. I just had the family show up here. Sorry, Katrina, yes? What? Go ahead.
All right. Oh, yes, I hear your familiar in the background. There's reasoning behind this entire process that many don't see. And it's the same reasoning that was spoken of in the very beginning when Kalina read the union piece and you talked about the union piece that you did. This is all about going back to your connection with Source. Your connection with Source, God Creator. That's what this is about. It really, truly is. That is the ascension process that you're going through, whether you're going through it on a twin flame path, whether you're a healer, whether you're a way shower, it doesn't matter. It's the big picture. You're ascending into your highest vibrations of love and light to ascend to this planet and to bring Gaia back into where she belongs and cleansing your soul in the templates of the Earth's consciousness so that your children and your children's children and so on will not have to go through the negativity that has been slain on the Earth for thousands of years. Right. It's the entire reasoning. This is the big picture. This is why each and every one of you are a little tiny piece of the puzzle. This is why God sent all of you down in their little drippings. You're all a little drop, right? But you really are the ocean. Understand it. Because without one of you focusing on what you came here to do you think it's going to get done? It's not. You all came down here for a reason of the big picture. You all answered the call. You're here to participate in this shift. And even though you may say, well, I am only just this one person makes up the entire whole. Because each one of you are all that is. Each one of you are a piece of Source, a piece of God, a piece of the Creator. You agreed to do what you came for. Some of you are still awakening and you don't understand what I am saying. Maybe you don't understand some of the things that Kalina writes or maybe some of the things that Deborah writes. But this is the actual goal of this process, is to ascend Mother Earth, to ascend humanity, to ascend your own being, cleansing the souls. And I just wanted everyone to understand that. So when you're having the frustrations of the everyday life that are going on and the karmic situations that you live in, you're going through these processes to help with the ascension process. This is the big picture. Those little things that you're thinking your daily life are these horrible, maybe, situations that you're going through, you're removing those templates. You're removing that negativity. You're removing it and you're raising the vibration as you go through it. Not only for yourself, but the planet. Mother Earth. It's why you came. Remember, you are so much bigger than you know. You have the power to make these changes. So I need you to believe. I need you to trust that every single day that you are here, you must remember you're here to help.
Mm-hmm.
We're all here to help. It has not gotten done in the past. It has not been completed. There's been many times where ascension has tried and failed. This time it's not failing.
Mm-mm.
As Kalina said earlier, in her vision, she had been shown that light has overtaken. It's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It may only be a smidge, but it is enough that the negative dark energy is angry.
Yeah.
And they're going to do everything to try and pull you back into a lower vibration. They will do everything, whether it's a karmic partner that they're pushing you that way because they go into their own negative vibration, so then they push you, whether it's a twin that's doing it, whether there's someone on the street, whether it's a thought that you have because you were driving down the road and you saw a billboard that you didn't like. It doesn't matter. Let go of that negative energy. We don't want that coming back. Do you understand? Does everybody understand? Please say, yes, I understand.
Yes, absolutely, I understand.
We're here for the light, and we are here to win this time. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mm-mm.
So if each of you have your own little stories to tell, and you're going through your own creations and your own, the universes you are creating, make sure you're creating them in light, letting go of the dark. Because that negativity, no matter what it is, no matter what percentage you feel it is, you're not experiencing anything more than the next person. Each person took on the same amount to release, believe it or not. You may dramatize your stories a little more with your earthly words, but what someone else is going through, even though it is their own experience, and you're having experience, nobody's experience is worse than the next. You create your stories, but you also create your dreams. Mm-hmm. Remember that.
Create everything.
And that is all I have to say.
Thank you.
I thank you for allowing me to talk, Kalina. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And I will step back because I know Kalina's been receiving vibrations for light language. There's going to be a shift on here, so I'm going to step back and allow her to talk. So I will say good night, namaste, and I thank all of you for allowing me to speak, and to the Divine Feminine, or all of you that carry the feminine energy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
All right, I know we have someone in the queue, but let me get this light language out really quick.
Okay.
So just take this in through your sacred hearts. Ushukuru nui masisisi na ene kiento ya mayata. Arakerondo sono koya masese taya uroto. Murote me ano koya sasarana ya nakina yukutoa. Parada iya da kutoa ya de sete. Ashita arikati urotoa me anika. Ara ono noya masasatara koto shantre na kianta. Baya ayakoa. Iana ara tu ida kuai si ari su aranto arukuta ya tea. Lokondaya Sutomai. Balance, center, love, peace, joy. Naya Uname, Ira Arakua, Anama. Hiototomere Sederotoya. Anama, Anama, Anama. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do we have time for one more call?
Yep, Carol, we can take her really quick. We got 4 minutes, Carol. You want to take
Carol!
her?
Have we got her? Oh, we don't. We
There,
do now.
Carol, are you there?
There she is. Hi,
Yes.
Carol.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. I had to wait for them to prompt me to ask my question. First of all, this is Carol living la vida loca. Okay, living la vida loca.
How are you, dear?
I miss you all.
Aww, we love you.
It's a great life. It's a great life, and I'm just like learning every day. You know, Mars, I wanted to share with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Share away. Yep, we can hear you. Share away.
Okay. So wanted to share with you, Marcy and I have this big question because we think our absentee twins, you know, we're not separate, but they're not physically around us. We're thinking that they contracted for Marcy and I to get together because Marcy and I trigger each other constantly. And we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. And then we laugh at it, and one goes away and then comes back and says, this is what I learned. And we're just finding that the triggers we're just recuperating from them. We're not reacting to them. We're recuperating much faster. And it's so much fun because we're proud of each other as we go through because we can recognize it, Right. It's just a great thing. And I wanted to say thank you to Master Katsumi. That was a wonderful talk. That I'm glad you let him talk, Helena.
We love him.
Yeah. He said thank you. He's standing here. And Carol, that's exactly what Jane is experiencing as well when she talked earlier. But the fact that, you guys are recognizing and acknowledging it right away. And so Jane's in the process where she's going to master that a little more. She's going to be mastering that. So you guys are mastering it together as well.
It's just we laugh together, we cry together, and it's just so healing.
Yeah. Right. We seem to have all developed. We're all starting to develop as we move along the path. Our helpmates. Kalina and I have got that kind of situation, and I know others do too. But isn't it interesting when we had the physical meeting of twins or sacred partners in one location? Look what happened. We connected with each other, and we made that. That's one of the reasons why Kalina and I are doing our workshops. Because when people get in each other's company and you really spend time with each other, you start to realize what a powerful combination it is, and you start to realize, oh, wow, I don't have to do all this work with my twins. In fact, I was just talking with someone last night. What I started to realize is that the work that you're doing is really not supposed to be done with your twin. It's supposed to be done within yourself. So you should be dealing with it all yourself and then not bringing any of it into that situation with him or her or whatever. And what we're finding is oh my gosh, we've got helpmates, and they're called other twins. A twin. Yes. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's really
so glad you guys found each other.
Yeah, and one of the other things I wanted to say that's helped me that a friend turned me on to is what's called a river meditation. So when you talk about letting go, you're talking about letting go of the fears of abandonment, of rejection, of whatever it may be. And it's, you do your visualization as I'm on a raft, and it's during the day, and the sun is out. And, in my case, I visualize all my ancestors sides of the river, and they're clapping as I'm going down, and I'm letting my, I'm bumping the road a little bit, and I'm going back and forth, and I see myself headed to the Rainbow Bridge. So that's my visualization.
Yeah.
But it has really, really helped because it's that whole soothing feeling, and you've got, you can make it as long as you want, but each trip, I really allow myself to go deeper in to to pull it all out and deal with it, you know, and recognize it and work on it, you know. And so that's, I don't know.
You know what, so, Carol, I'm glad you brought that up because I used to actually do that years ago. That's something that I used to do on my own, is allowing it to flow down the river until eventually it got to the mouth of the ocean. That was a long time ago. So, yeah, it's kind of, it's right. Thank you for sharing that, though.
You're welcome.
It does help. It does help.
It did help.
And I know there's a lot of people also that do where they have the angels take it away, where they allow the angels to take it away. And it goes up further and further and further, and they watch it disintegrate and stuff like that. It's, you know, it's everybody, what works for them. But thank you for bringing that back up because I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it's very soothing. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, Carol, what's really funny is that the way I see it is always so much more different. I guess it's because I'm so, what do you want to say? I'm a very dramatic person. I've got a lot of, what do you want to say, drama, not drama between people and stuff, but I'm very expressive. That's what it is. I'm very expressive. So when I think of going into the water, I think of, let it just bounce you around and go without the raft, and you're just floating, and, you know, you just got to try. I'm the one that's, you know, I should have just grabbed the raft. You know,
you don't even go in a raft. You're not even on a raft.
Just throw it in there. Throw the body in there because the raft would be boring for me.
Oh, God.
Let's see.
Yeah. Anything else, Carol?
No, it's just the other thing that they're talking about is, you know, just go and have fun, do the stuff. You know, and in my case, I had a bucket, got a lot, you know, I've got a lot to pick from. So, but it's really funny, you know, because I just went to an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert, and that was on my bucket list. So, it was really great. It was great. And, you know, the pyramids, and as the music's going, you can see the pyramids in the background, and you can see the phoenix rising and the woman rising, and I was, like, in my element.
Yeah.
And those are my three signs, you know, astrologically, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're all one's my sun sign, one's my moon sign, and the other one is my rising sign. So I was like, I got to go to that. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Fantastic.
And just doing stuff with friends, and I'm even noticing in friends I can tap into their own awakening. They all seem to be awakening in some form or the other. Yeah, it's incredible to see that.
Right, and remember what I told you?
How they're feeling more vulnerable and able to talk to me. You know, where, it really is incredible.
I told you? Like one of our first sessions where I told you, I said that somebody always has to go first in their circle.
Yes,
and we're going to be the one that they come to.
Yes, you did.
That's what happens.
I thought at
everybody's
first
awakening.
They would roll their eyes. You know, I was like, okay, you know, I was like treading the water to let them know, you know, what my path is. You know, and I would sometimes throw something out, and I could not see it because they wouldn't disrespect me that way, but I could feel, maybe it was my own perception that they were rolling their eyes in the back of their head, you know. But I think what happens, and even with my family, as they see the changes and as they see me changing, in action-wise as well, not just my mouth, but in action and how I deal with situations now. I'm feeling a respect from them as to my changes, because I have adult children, so you know that they've got their own stuff, but I see them closer, and I won't even use the word tolerant because that doesn't matter to me, but it's it's just a very warm sense that I'm getting from everybody. They call me kooky, but you know, I've always been kooky, always.
But you're being respected.
Yeah,
it's like they respect your path because you respect your path.
Yes,
and you've done a lot of work, Carol, to get where you are. So don't forget that.
Yeah, I'm to myself. I am.
Yay!
And I'm like, you know, It's like it's easier and easier to shine my light. And, now I'm going to England. Woo!
Yeah. Oh, man.
Shining it. Help you feel it when you're there.
When are you going? When are you leaving?
I leave on October 12th, and I'm going to be there for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. See, that's about the time that I was hoping to go.
Yeah. Why don't you?
We're working on it. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just some things came up from on the other end that our hands are tied.
So Marcy's also going. It's Marcy and I.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have so much time there that we may jump somewhere else. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, meh.
Just go.
Maybe we'll go to Copenhagen or something. I don't know.
Oh boy. Wow. I don't know. So those Danes, I seem to attract the Danes.
Yeah.
Oh boy, those Danes.
Well,
I run from them all.
Yeah, she does. She's a runner. She's a runner.
But that's all right. I just wanted to say hi and just throw out a couple as I was listening. There was I making note in my mind what to hopefully add of value here.
Yeah,
absolutely. I want to say, Carol, since the first time we had a session, which was a while ago, to now, I've seen you change so much. You've raised your vibration so much, and you're so much in your own space. You're in your spirit now. It's been amazing watching you grow.
And thank you. And I do want to say, somebody had told me about that pain on my right leg, that I was always complaining about, that the right leg, when that happens, that pain, is because you're not stepping forward. You have to step forward. Because, I was,
forward.
It was about stepping forward in my truth.
The
and
masculine.
Who I am. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't doing that. So I feel pretty balanced at this point in time. And
Good.
now I know what it feels to feel that way. I just didn't know what it felt to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all is well.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you both for continuing with the Vibrations of Love program.
Love you, Carol.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up our show. It's a little bit over, and thank you everybody for coming in and listening and contributing, and it was so great to talk to all of you. And
I've got to go do some work, so I've got behind the scenes work to do, so I've got to get off of here really quick.
Yep.
So
well, anyways,
good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much, and we look forward to doing this again sometime soon.
Yep, and if you're interested in the workshop in Ohio, it's on our website. So we've got to go. All right, love everybody.
All right. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.